Okay. So this one is not a lot of weight, but quite a bit of other little pieces of equipment. So I've got a slider, Laura. You can take your sliders out if you have carpet. If you have hardwood floor, you can use a towel. And if you can't slide on something, you can do all the exercises without sliding. But what we're going to work on today is a lot of inner thigh work. So for you, Ruby, if you have your big mat, I can't see that low, but if you don't have your big mat down, you don't need it. But if you do, okay, perfect. Okay. And then I'm gonna have a heavy band. So Duncan, you go get your one with the handles, the blue one. And then the only problem with those with the handles is it may hurt your feet a little bit. Everybody else, you can grab your silver bands. And I want a light band for external rotation rotator cuff. So we're doing that, quite a few of them. So Ruby, you can even get your yellow one because you like yellow. Perfect, you got it. The rotator cuff. Then I don't think I put in the description a yoga block. So grab a yoga block. Again, if you don't have one, not a big deal, but I'm going to use it to get that inner thigh to work. Yes, and a loop band as well. It can be, let me see, you can take a heavier one if you would like. We're not doing a ton with it. We are doing some donkey kicks, or if you have a choice of two, you can kind of have two around, and I just have a medium one. I always kind of use the same one. And then a light to medium weight, and you may not even use the weight, depending on how your balance is today. So I've got a 10-pound weight. You can grab, Duncan, you can grab a 15 and lower 10 or 15. Doesn't have to be, just adding a little bit extra, and you may not even use it, like I said. Okay, so we got all this kind of stuff. I think that's everything. And then I have, like I said, a sticky mat because we're going to do some balance work. So if your mat is not that sticky, you can kind of wet it a little bit. Once you get a little bit sweaty, then it's just kind of get a little bit stickier. But if you have a choice of two Margie, then pick the stickier one on top. Okay, so we are going to, oh, and I do have a wall. If you don't have a wall space, you can just do it without. We're going to do some squats, some wall squats. And if you don't have a wall space, you can just squat down. We're going to do external rotation like that. Okay. So all that, we've got all that. We're going to start by going on your hands and knees. Okay, and I have purposely wore a very tight kind of see-through shirt because I want you to see my belly. Because it's going to be an exaggerated, a lot of pulling in the core. Okay, so first one is just cat-cow. So you don't have to watch me for that. You guys know that one. So just rounding the back, looking at your belly. And then inhale, arc your back. Okay, now let's engage the belly. So I want you to exhale, breathe out through pursed lips, draw the belly in, kind of, you can even think about sucking it in, and then do your cat. Keep sucking, keep sucking, keep sucking, draw it in, and then let your belly just fall and breathe in, arc your back. Okay, exhale through pursed lips, push your belly in, draw it in. So we're learning to engage the core, and we're exaggerating here now. Inhale, let your belly relax. So you can relax the belly and you can contract the belly with your exhale. So exhale, round the back, push the ground away, draw the belly in really, really tight, and then relax. Good. Exhale. Draw the belly in. Inhale, relax. Let the belly fall. Last one. Exhale, draw the belly in. See if you can draw it in more. Suck it in, round your back, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. See how tight you can make it. And then relax. Okay, now let's go into neutral spine. And this is where you may want to look. And if you have an iPad, you may have to look closely. It's a very minimal movement and you may not see anything. So I'm going to try and fully relax my belly. So what we're going to do here is all you're going to, without moving anything, without rounding your back, you're going to draw the belly in. Belly comes in and then relax. You notice I didn't round my back, but the belly draws in. Okay, so don't round your back. Draw the belly in and then let it relax. I'm going to try 10 of those. So no rounding. You guys look good. Draw the belly in. Okay, so we're not sucking, but drawing. Think about drawing a like a pull cord of a bag, top of a bag, a sack or something. Everything is coming into the center. If you want to sync your breathing, you can with it, but you should be able to breathe normally. Pull the belly in and relax. Let's do one last one. Okay. So now we're going to do half of that. That was a pretty extreme. So everybody draw their belly in just a little bit. Okay, so if I look for you from the side, belly's nice and flat here. We're going to go into a bird dog. So reaching the right arm out and left leg. Now everybody look at their hip. Make sure that the left hip is facing the floor still. And then everybody lean slightly forward into the left hand just a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to hold this for 10 more seconds. Now I want you to flex your foot towards your face, that's your left foot, and push your heels into the wall. So that you're not touching the wall, but you're trying to drive it back into the wall. Good, draw the belly back in. Good, so reach like you're trying to reach your arm forward, reach your foot back, foot is flexed. Good, now round your back, draw your belly in even more, touch your elbow to your knee underneath your body, go right back to neutral, so don't let your belly relax, and extend. Round your back, draw it in, and then extend back to neutral. Round your back, draw it in, and extend to neutral. That's 3. Round your back, go really, really slow. Try to round it, draw the belly in, extend. That's 4. Round the back, and extend. That's 5. We're halfway. Round the back, and extend. That's 6. Round the back, and extend. That's 7. Round the back, and extend. That's 8. Round the back, keep the belly tight. Extend, that's 9. Last one, round the back, touch the elbow to the knee, and extend, that is 10. Woo! Good, you can come back onto your heels for a second. Just shake out your wrist, left wrist. Laura, if you want to go grab your 10-pound weight and put your hand on the weight, you can do that. Anybody else have wrist issues? We're going to do that on the other side. So if that's going to bother your wrist, you can put your hand on a weight or put your hands in fists. Okay, so right hand down. Right hand down, right leg up, left arm up. Okay, now we're going to straighten out the legs, see if we can flex the quad a little bit more. Push the heel straight back into that wall. Make sure that your right hip is facing the floor, right? And if you can see yourself in the mirror, you can check out yourself. So I've got myself onto a second screen, so you can look and make sure that your abs are tight. If you've got a mirror, or Lauren and Duncan, you guys can look at each other, and then reach your left arm out. So make each other laugh. Good, squeeze your bum a little bit more, that right butt cheek. Good, flex that right foot towards your face. Squeeze a little bit more. Good, see if you can tuck your toe again, Margie. It'll make it a little bit harder. Yes, like that, perfect. Now round your back, draw the belly in, and extend straight out. So we've got 1. Round the back, elbow touches the knee, and extend, that's 2. Round the back. Remember, when you're extending, you're squeezing your bum each time. Full extension on the leg. We are working glutes today. It's core and glute workout. So start to think about engaging that glute when you're extending out. So it's a stretch and then a contraction. 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Shake your wrists out, and you get to lay on the floor with your yoga block. So now we're going to get the inner thighs to work a little bit. So I'm going to take it on the thinnest width, and you're going to lay on your back. Your feet are going to be on the floor. So the first one I'm going to do, actually, let's go second width, a little bit wider for the first one. So your feet are a little bit wider. Now we're going to exaggerate pushing our low back into the floor, okay? So same thing that we did on our hands and knees, now we're on the floor. You can put your hands on your thighs, or if you have neck issues, you can put your hands behind your neck. Just don't pull on your neck. What we're going to do is we're going to pull up from the head. We're going to round, 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 round. Your hands are on your thighs. You're sliding up. I'm not going to full sit up. I'm just going to here, pushing my low back in the floor and trying to push my belly. So you can see your belly, trying to let it pop up. Try and push it down. okay? And then back down. So we're gonna exhale, we're gonna hold that for 4 seconds. Inhale down, exhale for 4 seconds, holding it the whole time. Okay, so here we go. So come up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale down, low back can come off. Exhale, push your low back into the floor, roll up, draw the belly in 3, 2, 2. The whole time you're squeezing that block as well. So we're getting the inner thighs to engage. Exhale and up, hold for 4, 3, 2, 3. Inhale and down. Exhale and up and hold. 4, 3, 2, 4. And back down so you can squeeze the block a little bit more. Exhale and up. 4, 3, 2, 5. Inhale and down. We're halfway. Exhale and up. Push, push, push. Squeeze the block. 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Exhale and up. 4, 3, 2, 2. Inhale and down. We got 3 more. Exhale and up. 4, 3, 2, 3. Inhale and down. Exhale up. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 4. Last one. Really squeeze the block. Come on up and hold. 4, 3, 2, and 5. Okay. Now put the block on the thinnest and put it back between your thighs, in between your knees and your waist. And you're going to either, if you have hip issues or hamstrings are tight, you can keep your knees bent. If you don't, you're going to fully extend them and flex your feet towards your face. Good. Now everybody's going to put their hands behind their head. Now the first thing you're going to try to do is lift your chest up, hold. Remember these, we haven't done them for a while. Squeeze the block and then try. As you can see, I'm barely even lifting, but I'm squeezing my low abs so my hips slightly come off the ground, and then lower the abs and lower the upper body. Okay? So we're going to do 10 of these. So lift your upper body, lift your hips and hold. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the block the whole time. Inhale and down. Upper body, hips. 3, 2, 2. Inhale and down. Up we go. 3, 2, 3. Inhale and down. Exhale and up. Draw the belly in. Low back into the floor. 2, 1. Inhale and down. Exhale and up and hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and down. Exhale and up. 3, 2, 1. Inhale and down. We've got 3 more. Exhale and up. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Inhale and down. Last 2. Lift your chest, lift your hips and hold. 3, 2, 1. Last 2. Exhale and up. Hold. 3, 2, 1. This is your last one. Exhale and up and hold. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. You can take the block out from behind your or between your knees, and then cactus arms, windshield wipe your knees from side to side. Okay, so now we have done inner thighs. We're really drawing the belly in. So now we're going to do an isometric hold where we're holding the whole time. So if you have tight hip flexors, please just keep your knees bent. You don't have to be straight. If you want to be a little bit harder, then you can extend them or somewhere in between. Now, everybody, wherever you are, if your knees are bent or straight, move your knees away until you feel your abs engage and your low back want to come up. Okay, so that's your starting point. So if I just stayed here for 1 minute, you'd be like screaming because this is already hard. So start here. Everybody up. Legs up, Laura. Good. Now that's your starting part. Everybody stay here. Now very, very slowly lower one heel down. Doesn't matter which. And then exhale, bring it up. Good. Watch your low back. We're going to alternate. You can go in your own time. Lower the other one and then bring it up. I got my hands on my hips to try to make sure that I got my ribs and my hips. So my ribs are going to stay on top of the hips. If I start arcing my back, I'm going to feel that stretch. I'm going to feel that separate. So pushing the low back, exaggerating, pushing the low back into the floor, or really keeping it neutral, making sure those ribs stay over top of the hips. Now, if you feel like it's too easy, don't let your knees come up too close to your chest. They're only coming partially up. This should be super intense. Isometric hold of the abs as you're drawing them in the whole time. You can sync your breathing with the lowering or just breathe normally and pick whatever timing you like, going from side to side. We've got 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Okay, lay on your stomach and stretch out your abs. You can go into a cobra, or you can stretch a little bit higher, straighten out your arms, whatever works for your low back. Before we get into the loop, we're going to do a figure 8 without the loop, just for form. So you're going to lay on your right side, and everybody bring your knees up in front. So if you look down, your heels are going to be in line with your hip, in line with your shoulder, and then you can lay back down. Hand goes on that hip crease here, and then lift your leg up. Now, already you can see kind of the belly's falling out. Draw the belly in, draw it in, kind of don't suck it in, but draw it in like we've been doing. Okay, so pull that in so you get a nice flat stomach. Now, internally rotate and touch your knees together as much as you can. You don't have a band, so Laura, get your heel up high. Yeah, your heel up. Yeah, more. Yes, higher. See how high you can get this up. Okay, so the higher your heel is, the more you're internally rotating your hip. Good, lift it back to neutral. Hand on the hip, do not roll it back. Now lift your knee up towards the ceiling. The higher your knee goes without your hip rolling back, the better. Okay, so then lift it up to neutral. Knee goes in, knee, all the way in, as much as you can. So you get a stretch on the glutes. Draw the belly in, and then lift your knee up, and then touch. See if you can do this with you feeling your glutes engaged, this left butt cheek, as you're moving from side to side. It's already burning on mine without even using the band. Okay, so your knees up, your heels up even higher, and then knees up really high. Yeah, draw it in. Now see if you can go slow. Pretend that you have a machine in between that you're squeezing, Margie. So you're kind of, as you're here, this hand here, this glute should be burning as you're trying to get further and further internal rotation, and yes, and further external rotation without the hip going back. Well, that's pretty. Okay, you can give that a little bit of a massage and then roll to the other side. Now, Ruby, usually your camera's set up really well. For some reason today, I can't actually see your mat. If you want to lower it down, if you don't, that's totally fine. Less than Tracy, I can't see you at all. Neither can I see Gwen. So draw the belly in. I'm catching myself there. I'm like, oh, okay. Knee goes down, heel goes up, and then really watch it. One hip might be tighter than the other. So you may have a harder time getting the external rotation without the hip rolling back. So that hands on the hip, stopping you from rolling back to get that external rotation. And now, Ruby, you can bring your knees forward a little bit more in front of you. So they don't want to be down here, right? We want them to be in front. Yeah, good. And then really try to get, even if you're really flexible, try and get more internal, more external rotation. See if you can get it further and further, and squeeze it like you're squeezing a vice between your thighs. I'm going to need that later. You can also think about pulling the pelvic floor up as well. Two more. Last one. Okay. So everybody looks really good with their form. Let's put the band on. We'll do it one more time with the band. We're going to do 10 on each side. You are still trying to go for that extreme internal, external rotation with your band. So if you picked a really heavy one, you may have a hard time doing that. You may want to pick a lighter one. So laying on your side, knees are in front, the hips on top of your ankles. Lift your legs up, internally rotate, get as much as you can, and then slowly go to neutral, and then externally rotate, knee goes up towards the ceiling. Internally rotate, draw the belly in, externally rotate and touch. Now lift, what you can do, Margie, is put your band more onto your kneecaps, and in between, get a little bit harder, lift it up high, and then go to the next one. Lift it up high, and then go to internal rotation. So you get a little bit of a extra lift on the glute between each one. And Laura, you can bend your knees a little bit more behind, bend your knees, your feet are a little, yeah, feather in line with your hip. Last one. And we'll roll to the other side. Same thing. So heels underneath your hips, draw the belly in, lift your leg up nice and high, instantly rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keep it on your knees. We're going to go into a low plank. If you want to add some extra padding, you can. Your feet are going to go into a slider. If you don't have a slider, not a big deal. You can do it without. Just be a little bit easier without. So both feet are on your slider and you're in a low plank. Okay. Now you're going to put some tension on the band. So our glutes are going to be engaged, glute med. So the band doesn't slide off as well. Draw the belly button into the spine. If you have a slider, you're going to push yourself back with the slider, only go a little bit, and then bring yourself forward. If you don't have a slider, you're just going to rock back and forth without actually moving the body along the floor. Okay, we're going to try 10 of these. So we've got 1, 2. Now bring your bum down, Margie, so it's parallel with the floor. 3. And when you come forward, keep your bum down. 4. That's better. 5. Nice, Duncan. Nice, Laura. 7. I can't see anybody else. 8. 9. And 10. Good. So that one should be pretty extreme. If you want to make it harder, you go further. The further you go, the more intense it's going to be on your abs. We're going to come on back onto your back. You still have the band on your kneecap. Your heels are going to be on the floor and just behind your hips, and then hips go up, okay? Hip bones to try to be even. Now I want you to tuck your tail under and squeeze your butt cheeks, okay? Squeeze them hard. With your hands can be on the floor, and then reach out your left leg. Good, so everybody left leg. Now lift up your left hip so it's even with the right, and get your right hip a little bit higher so that you can engage your glute a little bit longer for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay there. Stay there. Put your leg back up. Drop your bum. Squeeze your bum and lift your hip without arcing your back. 1, 2. We're going to just do one set of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. See if you can get your right butt cheek to work a little bit more. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 20. Right butt cheek should be on fire. You can shake out that leg and then lift your hips back up. Right leg is extended, thighs are parallel to each other. Lift your left hip up a little higher. Lift your right hip up a little higher. We're going to hold for 10 seconds here. Breathe. Keep squeezing your left butt cheek. So right now it's an isometric hold. When you lower your hip, your glutes should stretch, and then we're going to contract them. Okay, so here we go. So lower the hips, they stretch. Squeeze the left butt cheek and lift your hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 20. Whoa. Good. You can rock your knees from side to side, or you can bring your knees in towards your chest if you feel like you've got any low back stretch or pain. Just rock it from side to side. And we're going to go right back to abs. We're going to go back to that rock. You have the option of staying in a low plank, or you can go into a high plank if you want to work a little bit more shoulders. It's not any harder with the high plank for the abs. It just does work for the shoulders. You can't usually go as far. My pods. Okay, so everybody, hands on the floor or elbows on the floor. Up you go. Stretch the band with your knees. You're gonna rock forward, rock back. Good. Hips parallel to the floor. One. Good. Try not to move your ankles if you have the towel, Margie. Yeah, so your ankles stay even and you're pulling back with your arms and your abs, not by the ankles. If you don't have a slider, you can definitely move the ankles, but not if you got a slider. Lock those elbows, lock those ankles. 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Everybody on their hands and knees. If you want to do a couple cat cows, you can. Loosen that up. And then I want you to slide the band underneath your left knee. So it's locked underneath the left knee. Now, this is a hard one to watch yourself. Yeah, we're going to do donkey kick. So it's locked underneath the left knee. Tighten up your abs. Draw your belly in so your back is flat. Now, when you lift your leg up, I can get mine parallel to the floor, but notice that my back is not arched. If you're going like this to get your leg parallel to the floor, then you don't have the range of motion or your band's too tight. Only go as far as you can, but that's the goal so that we do a right butt cheek squeeze, okay? So we're gonna go all the way down, all the way up 15 times, and then we're gonna pulse, okay? So here we go. So we go up, squeeze the right butt cheek. 1, 2, 3. Abs are tight the whole time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now stay up there to the highest that you can go with your leg. Good. Now pulse straight up towards the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way down, all the way up again. 15 times. 1. Burn. 2, 3, 4, 5. Abs still nice and engaged. 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You should feel like your right butt cheek is cramping. We're getting close to. That's a lot of work, a lot of contraction. Now it's going to have to stabilize. It's going to have to hold us up on the other side. So it's going to be a little bit tired. For sure, if your wrists are getting sore, you can grab your half roller. It's a little, we're almost done on our hands and knees. Okay, other side. 15 times, draw the belly in, lift your thigh up. 1, 2, 3. So when you're lifting up, you're squeezing that left butt cheek. That's the one that's doing the work. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Tighten up the back a little bit, Mark or Ruby. Yeah. Flatten your back out. Good. Everybody lift up your thigh parallel to the floor. Good. And little pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Push between your shoulder blades, Margie. 7, 8, 9. Like push up towards the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Now bring it up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's done. Okay, you get to take that off. You should feel that in the glute mat, glute knee. We're going to keep this band for just a second. Just leave it by your side. We're going to do windshield wipers with your knees, though, just to loosen that up a bit. So the first one is just range of motion. So everybody's good with this. right? Everybody open up their feet a bit wider. So they're not touching their feet together. But now you're either going to stay like this. We're going to do the challenge. You're going to take your hands and you're going to place your hands, your elbows, your knees off to one side, feet there, hands stay up. You're going to swing them to the other side. So 1, 2, 3. The least that you lean back, the more intense it's going to be. 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. And 10. Excellent. Grab your yoga block, put it between your thighs, whichever you like, either the second or the first width, and then grab your loop band. I want you to put it on your wrists. So what we're going to do is try to stretch it. So your wrists and your elbows are an equal distance apart. Okay, so if you want to make it harder, your wrists go out further. Try to keep your elbows in, feet go up. Okay, this is either staying, your isometric holding, or we're going to do a little bit of a twist from side to side, but don't lose the stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, belly in. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Move that aside. This time you're going to take the block and you're going to hold it in your hands. Lift your legs back up again. Imagine that you have the block between your thighs. Extend your arms out. You're either holding here or we're doing the same thing. But instead of your hands going here, Bargy, turn your body. So your chest turns from side to side. So your chest, everybody stop. My block is right above my chest. If my chest is here and the block's here, you've gone too far. So it can only go as far as your body can twist. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can always put your feet down. 10, 10, 9, 8. Draw the belly in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. We're going to use the block in a little bit. You can leave it over to the side, but stand on up. Grab some water. What are we going to be? We're going to be mainly standing. We have a few on the floor. But if you only have 2 options with the camera, you can bring it up this time. So after all that glute work, we're just going to open up the hips. So open and close. So it comes out to the side and then close it up again out to the side. So same ideas when we did on the floor. When you move your hip, right, notice that my body is still facing forward. So it moves within the socket. So we're not doing this to get the hip open. Good. So now, see if you can engage the abs a bit more. We're going to be doing this later on. This is why I'm focusing on it so much. We're going to add it into a lunge. So your body stays forward. Squeeze your glutes to lift up. So you got the hip flexors lifting your knee, holding it up there for a brief period of time as you open and close. So hip flexors come all the way up into here and into the quads. One more. Good. Open up the feet out wide. Get a nice big wide step. Hands on the hips. Rock to one side so we can get a little bit of a stretch on the inner thigh. We're going to work those. And then rock to the other side. Rock on over. And then over. Last one, place your hand on the floor. So you bring over, bend your right knee. So you're reaching into the right side. Place your left hand on the floor. Right hand goes out to the side. Come back up, bend into the left knee. Right hand goes on the floor. Left hand goes up to the side. One more time, bend into the right knee. Right arm goes up. Left hand goes to the floor. Come back up, bend to the left knee. Right hand goes on the floor. Left hand goes up. Okay, come on back. Let's start with the yoga block. If you want to grab some water, if you haven't yet. We're a little over halfway through. This is the harder stuff now. Okay, so we've been prepping for all this stuff. Now we're going to start with a static lunge. If you're really flexible, Laura, you don't need a block. Everybody else, I think, will need a block for this one to get down onto the floor, right? So you're going to be here and you're going to tuck your tail in, hold that. Now, if you're able to go all the way to the floor, you can, as long as you can tuck the tail in, you feel comfortable. We're going to get off of the knee though, right? So if you're not able to get up off of the knee like that, then go onto the yoga block, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to come up. So everybody come off the block or be parallel to the floor. Shin is parallel to the floor. Now everybody tighten up their abs, put their hands on their hips, and then slightly go forward. So now you can see my head and the back of my leg are all one line. Everybody bend into the left knee a little bit more. Good. Now you're either going to hold that or you're going to bring your hands up by your ears. Good. Bend to the left knee a little bit more. Good. Now stay like that. Pull your elbows back like you're trying to touch your elbows behind you. Reach up towards the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep your hands there. Drop your knee to the floor or the yoga block. Come up just part way. Good. Now come up all the way. Go all the way down. Come up part way. Go down. Come up all the way. Go down part way. Down all the way. We're almost there. Down. Come up part way. Down. Come up all the way. Good. Down. Come up part way. Almost there, Ruby. Last one. Come up all the way. And shake that right leg out. That should mainly be right leg. If you have tight quads, you may feel in the hip flexor of the left side. So that's why, if you really have tight quads, that's why I wanted you to block. If you want, if you're like, yeah, I could have done a little bit deeper, you can go to the floor, but every side is different. You may want to switch to the block on this side. So we're on the floor or on the block. Everybody lift your knee up so your shin is parallel to the floor. Good. Turn your hips so your hips are facing forward. So pull your right hip forward and then lean slightly forward so we've got a straight line. Everybody bend back into your right knee a little bit more. Good. Hold that, draw the belly in. Bring your arms up by your ears. Pull back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, bend the right knee a bit more, 3, 2, and 1. Fully straighten the arms, drop all the way to the floor, come up part way, go down to bottom. Come up all the way, come all the way down. Come up part way, all the way down. All the way up, all the way down. Part way, and then down to the top, and then down. 2 more each. Part way, and then down to the top, all the way down. Last one. Part way, and down to the top, and all the way down. That's it. Shake it out. So that's all glute and that left side. Okay, now you're gonna take your light band. We're gonna do some external rotation. If you have a wall, you can go to your wall. If you do not have a wall, you can just do a regular squat. Now we're gonna go against the wall. And you're looking for a 90-degree bend at your knees. Push your low back into the wall. If you have a ponytail, get rid of the ponytail. Push the back of your head into the wall. Now your elbows do not need to be on the wall, okay? Especially if you have tight shoulders, but you're gonna push your shoulders into the wall. So elbows can be off, shoulders need to be on. Now externally rotate, stretch the band to the side. You're gonna watch the time. You're gonna go slow with the external rotation. And at any point in time, if the shoulders are hurting, you can stop the external rotation, but we're not gonna stop the squat. We're here for 1 minute. Now, I'm gonna talk about some other things. The external rotation is kind of distract you a little bit, but I want you to push your heels into the floor and see if you can squeeze your glutes. You know where they are now because they're kind of screaming at you after all that work we did. So I want you to try to squeeze your glutes more in that squat. Good. And then watch your wrists, Tracy, so that when you put your hands up to the side, your wrists still stay neutral. You guys are doing great. We only have 20 seconds left. Good. Now pull your head lower back and push your shoulders into the wall. Elbows don't need to be on the wall, but get your shoulders against the wall. That's it. Nice, Tracy. Hold that squat. Perfect. We've got 10 seconds left. Everybody is doing great. Push your low back in a little bit more, Duncan. Yeah. And then draw the chin down parallel to the floor for 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Come on up. This is where that light weight comes in. You don't need a weight. You can do it without it. We're going to do a drop squat where you're going to catch yourself with your glutes. So like I said, you don't need to have a weight. What we're going to do is I want you to drop down quickly, hold that. So look at that line. So you get a nice straight line. Abs are tight. If you looked at the knees are underneath the hips, underneath the shoulders. Okay. We're going to hold that for 2 seconds and then come back up. Only 10. So hands at the chest. With or without a weight, you can hold on to block if you'd like as well. Drop, hold, 1, 2. So you're dropping and catching with your glutes and your abs, okay? Drop, hold, 1, 2. Come up nice and easy. Drop, hold, 1, 3. Nice and easy. It's a fast drop. Hold, 1, 4. Nice and easy. Abs tighter. Drop, hold, 1, 5. Back up nice and easy. Drop, hold, 1, 6. Back up nice and easy. Drop, hold, 1, 7. Up nice and easy. Last 3. Drop, hold, 1, 2. Back up. Last 2. Drop, quick, hold, 1, 2. Keep your head up, looking up, Duncan. Drop, hold, 1, 3. Perfect. Last one. Drop and hold, 1, 2. Nicely done. Okay, do we want this one? No, we don't want this one for a bit. We're gonna go back to our slider. You have a couple options. You're either gonna do what we did in the beginning in a low plank and you glide back and forth, or you can do a low plank or a high plank hike. So low plank, it looks like this, it's the exact same thing, but you come through and you get your bum up nice and high and then drop back, okay? As you can see, as my bum comes up, you're drawing your belly in. You can also bend your knees as well. You don't have to do full pike, or you can rock back and forth like we did in the warm-up or the first part of it. Okay, so 10 total, whichever one you're choosing. If you have low back issues or really tight hamstrings, the pike is probably not the one for you. Just bend your knees to bring it in. You can go in high plank, yep. Yeah, you can go high or low plank. We're gonna do 2 sets of these. So I'm gonna try low plank for the first one. Okay, so you're gonna go back and then come forward and follow it all the way through. 1, slow is better. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, grab your yoga block. Yeah, everybody grab their yoga block. And we're gonna start with your right knee on the yoga block. So this is balance, hip rotation, and a little bit of quad work, okay? But it's more agility than anything than strength. So everybody's starting with their right knee on the yoga block, left leg forward. So what I'd like you to try to do is we're gonna stand up and bring your knee up. Okay, we can follow along, I'll walk you through it. Let's go back. So Tracy, go down onto the yoga block. Good. Everybody come up. Now open up your knee to the right. Come all the way back. Bring it back so your foot touches behind the yoga block and come all the way down. Okay? So here we go. So we go up, abs are tight. Open it up all the way through, and then we come back down. Good. So yeah, nice, Tracy, with your hands on your hips, trying not to turn your hips to the side as you bring your leg out to the side. Good. And then if you're quite flexible, Laura, take a bigger step back. So when you go down, you don't have to lean forward. So we go up and down like an elevator, right? So take a bigger step forward or a step back and straight down. So you're not leaning so far forward to go up and down. So we're using more glutes. Nice, Gwen. We'll do 2 more. Last one. Good. Nice. And then what we're going to try, if you can, for some of you are opening up your hip and then coming back in. For the other side, when you come up, try to open it up and keep it flowing all the way around and then drop it back, okay? Instead of opening and then closing and then coming back, we're trying to get more range of motion. So it's up and around like you're going backwards over a fence. That's it, Gwen. Okay, so other side, left knee down, tighten up the abs, hips face forward, up you go, open it up. So you're gonna feel a lot in this left glute as you try to keep your knee up high, open it up to the side and step it back. Good. Now see if you can tighten up your abs more so you're not leaning to the side when your leg goes out to the side. You're still nice and vertical. Three more. Think you're breathing. Stay calm. Don't keep up with me. Just go on your own time. The other leg, the little muscles in your feet and your knees should be kind of screaming out. Grab some water if you haven't. Now we're going to get into the inner thighs. So we have the sliders. Lauren, Duncan, you guys have done this with me before. You probably can, same as you, Ruby. You can probably grab your lightweight. We're doing just a simple reverse lunge. Now, I call it simple. But what we're trying to do is think of your inner thighs as pulling up and drawing up. So what it looks like is holding the weight just at the top. Let's make it a little harder. As you go back, we bend both knees. And then as you come up, you squeeze your inner thighs together and you pull them in straight up. Right, so we're cinching it up. Instead of coming like this and then hinging forward and dragging yourself up. Okay, so we're not doing a deadlift at all. It'll still get into the glutes, but we want to. What's that?
Toothpaste tube.
Sure, toothpaste tube. Yeah. Okay, so I've got it on my left foot, right leg's forward. You can do whichever. So go back as you have space, bend both knees 90 degrees. Yeah, and then pull the toothpaste out, straight up, squeeze it out, and then straight back down. Exhale on the way up. So you can really feel the pelvic floor here. Nice left. Good dodging the dogs. A little bit more. Good. Try and keep the chest up and squeeze your legs together to get yourself up. 5 more. Last one. Good. So it should be inner thigh and right quad and glute. What a other side. So the slider's on your right foot. Sliding back, bend both knees, squeeze it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, keep your chest up. 2, squeeze your legs together. Last one. Okay, weight goes off to the side. We're back to abs again. High or low plank. Bring your knees to your chest. or a pike. I'm gonna do a high plank, drawing the knees in this time. So feet are on the sliders. So this one now, I'm still rounding my back. I'm gonna bring my knees in, pulling the abs in as much as you can, full extension. The further you go out when you walk out, the harder it's gonna be on your abs, okay? 10 on your own time. Guys, look good. Looking strong. Nice, good reach, Duncan. Nice, Laura. Okay, everybody should have done about 10. I'm gonna roll my mat up so I have some room at the back. We're gonna do a lateral lunge. Again, if you've done these before, or if you want a little bit of extra intensity or more ab work, grab onto that light weight again. Now, the further you hold the weight away from your chest, the more you get into the abs. If you go too far and your abs are feeling tired now and they're not able to support you, you're gonna feel it in your low back. So please don't go too far and twinge your back. Same concept, toothpaste tube. We're going to hold onto the weight. We're going out to the side. I've got very little weight on this right leg. So right leg is out, working my left. I'm gonna squeeze the toothpaste, come straight up. Good, and then reach it out, squeeze it right up. Good, so we've got 15. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're not able to slide, you can take a step out and then bring it back. Take a step out and bring it back. This is all the left leg working. Keep the weight on the left, even though your right's going out to the side. Don't let your weight go that way. Last 2. Last one. All right. Woo, done. Other side. Okay, so reach the left leg out. Weight stays on the right. Squeeze at yourself straight up. 1, 2. If you can, try to have your foot facing the front. Don't turn your foot out to the side. So you internally rotate your femur. You keep it facing forward. So keep your toe in front of your heel, Laura. Yeah. So the heel is going to go out further if you want to get further, but not the toe. There we go. 10 more. The lower you go, the harder it is. And the further away you hold your weight, the harder it is. Last 3. Last one. Okay. We're going to put that slider back to the side. If you still need lots of space, I'm just going to show you from the side. It's a little bit easier. And this is where we got the heavy band. If you want to grab your half roller or weights for your hands, we're going to be on all 4s. If you don't have wrist issues, you don't need it. So I'll show you with the left. So we've got 2 options here. For those that are having issues extending their leg and keeping their abs tight, you're going to keep your foot on the slider. Okay, and if you are able to extend your legs without your abs arching, I'll show you the second one. So the first one is your foot's on the slider, your foot's in the band, and your foot's on the slider. You're going to put a lot of weight and you're going to push your legs straight back, foot into the slider, heels up, and then back. So we're working on glutes. So it's just the left glute that we're working. Now, abs stay tight when you extend. The other one is you just take your foot off the slider and you kick it straight back. So straight in, straight back. Okay, so pick one, or you can do half and half. Everybody's still getting started. You sorted. Hard, keep your foot flexed so that the band stays on your foot. Okay, here we go. 1, abs are tight. 2, fully extend your leg, squeeze your quads. 3, 4, you can reach your leg out further. 5, not a kick, but a stretch. 6, arms are straight, abs are tight. 7, we're going for 15. 8, 9, 10, 5, can you reach your leg out further? 4, think of your heel going, not your toe. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, easiest way to switch, keep your foot tight on the band, put your other foot in, and then take your foot out. And if you've already lost it, you just gotta start over. Okay, so remember, abs stay tight the whole time on this one. We're not arching our back. Everybody's good to go. Heel is down, or sorry, foot is flexed. Push straight out, squeeze it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Draw the belly in again. Look up slightly. 5, 4, fully extend that leg. 3, 2, and 1. Very well done. So all glutes, abs, a little bit of quad in there, tiny bit of hamstrings. We're gonna do 2 stretches. The first is a glute stretch. You can pick your favorite stretch. You can do figure 4. I'm gonna do a 90-90. So your legs at 90 degrees here, the other legs at 90 degrees back there, and then you're gonna reach forward until you feel stretch on that glute. If you have a different one that you'd like, please go ahead and do it. Everybody has their own favorites. So it's a very focused workout, very much isolating the core and the glutes. And we'll go over to the other side. And then you're gonna lay on your back. And you're gonna take your yoga block with you. We're gonna do a bridge and then place the yoga block onto your sacrum, onto the bony part of your hip, and then lay back down on it. So I have it on my second height. If it's too high, you can put it on the first height. If you wanna go really crazy, you can get it on the highest height and get some really big extension. It should feel relaxing, feel like a little bit of traction in your spine. Couple big deep inhales and exhales, slow everything down. If you can make them loud, make them audible. One more. Lift your hips up and take the block out from underneath your hips. And open up your feet wide or wider than the mat, and then let your knees come in together. So this is a passive internal rotation. If you want to get a little passive chest stretch as well, you can put your arms in a cactus or a T or behind your head. And breathe. You don't have to worry about drawing in the belly now. You're going to let that go. And now see if you can let the pelvic floor go as well. You're not holding anything now. We did a lot of abs, but a lot of abs with forcing you to use your low back as well. If you feel that you have low back tenderness tomorrow, please stretch out the hip flexors. I'll just show you quickly if you come on up which one would be the best one. You're on one knee, tuck the tail under, and then lean forward. So, or push yourself forward. And then the key here is push your left hip. So whatever knee is down, push that left hip forward, and the right hip pull it back so that you keep that into the hip flexors. Hip flexors go from the quads into your abdominals here to try and stretch those out. These guys, as you can see, if they're tight, they're going to pull on your low back and give you low back pain. So if you want to get them, stretch them out, then that'll take some of the pressure off of the low back. Other side, exact same thing. If you want to add the arms and all that kind of stuff, definitely go ahead. I'm just showing it here. You want to hold it